Hey y'all, come on in. Let me know you can hear me good. Let me know you can hear me really good. Let me know you can see this area right here. Let me know you can hear me and let me know you can see this area. I hope that what I teach you on today will bring profit to your business. It will also help you declutter some of the things, some of your scrap fabric stash that you have. I know mine is overflowing. Okay, it is so bad off that I was like, God, I need you to help me figure out something to do with this scrap fabric so that I can share it with others and so that they can run with it and create as well. Okay, so good morning. Is that Marla? Good morning, Marla. Thank you for joining in. I'm gonna give it about a few more minutes to see if anybody else come on before I start. But yeah, this is something that after I came up with it, it is selling for me. So make sure that you create this, post it, go to your vendor events with it. You won't fail, I promise. Let me know you can hear me when you come in. Hey, let me know who uh Dimps Designs is. I can't really see down below, but let me know who it is. Um, so I can say your name. But hey, she said, hey, Aisha Boo. I'm trying to see who that is. Is that Linda? I don't know. Hey, Monica. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. I'm going to give it a few minutes, so just bear with me. I just want to make sure those that are coming in will see the beginning to the end. And then again, this will stay up. And if you don't have scrap fabric and you want to just create this, then you can get your yardage. But I'm really wanting to reach those that have scraps just overflowing in their garage, overflowing in their closets, their house is stuffed. Hey, hey, let me know where you're coming in from. Hey, girl. Hey. I'm like, okay, let me see who this is right quick. Hey. One of my messages says held for review. I don't know what none of that is, but let me just click it and see. Oh, okay. So yeah. So I'm a Facebook girl. Let me tell you one thing. I'm a Facebook girl. I like to just connect with those that are right there in the community of the Facebook group. But I also know that there are some things that I need to do for maybe show for the world, and things like that. So I'm not so much of a YouTube girl, but I'm gonna do a little something here and there. But yeah, I'm a Facebook girl. let me. All right, there we go. All right, so hold on, y'all. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes and then get started. But I will show y'all what we're gonna create. So I sew for children mainly. Um, Only thing I really sew for adults is anything that's really, really quick, like maybe a bonnet or maybe like a maxi skirt or maybe like a tube top or something like that. But I really do not sew for adults. Now I kind of switched it up. I sew for children, but I mainly sew for photo props, like things to reach out to photographers and say, hey, this will be something good for you to have in your studio. And it's different, it's unique. Not everybody's gonna have it. And so I kind of go that route now. So baby shower gifts, things like that, that's photography ready, right? So that's where I'm at. Um, Girl, that group chat, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know anything. Listen, Back that group chat. I don't do too well with Messenger and all of that. So yeah, if it's going, thank you so much for still being on there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started because this was just something that popped up last minute in my mind. So I just shared it for other people to log in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started because it's gonna stay up, right? And I'm on a time frame. So let's go. All right, so today we're gonna learn how to make a scrap fabric ruffle bonnet for toddlers or children, or you can even make it for adults. I'm gonna show you how to make it using how to make it for an infant for photography purposes only, or toddler or children using the ruffle bonnet, the ruffled method. Okay, so here's one, and again, it's made out of scrap fabric only on one side, and for me also on the other side, because this is so you don't use a lot of fabric. So you can make this solid if you want with scrap fabric, or you can get your scrap fabric and you'll cut them into strips and things like that and make this particular bonnet, right? Let me know if this is cute to you. I love it. My customers love it. My daughter love it. She has, Gabby, bring me down your bonnet I had made you. My daughter loves it. It's with her favorite colors. And then we also have this one here. And again, this is all scrap fabric. And you can make this for infants, for photography purposes. I do not, let me just go ahead and say this now. I do not recommend children. Thank you, Gabby. I do not recommend infants or even toddlers in my view on it to wear these while they're asleep. It's not to me, it's not something that should be done. It's not safe to me. So I want to go ahead and say that now, okay? For me, it's not safe, so I do not recommend it. And every time I sell it, I put the disclaimer for photography purposes only, okay? So which means you don't have to go to a studio to make it. To take pictures. You can take the pictures at your house. And I actually posted one with my granddaughter. I call her my tiny tot. I actually posted it in the group and said photography photo prop only. Okay, so just want y'all to know that. And then this one here is another one. I posted my scrap fabric in the So Cute Beginner Friendly Sewing group on Facebook. I posted it there, the scrap fabric, and this is what I created with it. So I need to go back and share with you guys the actual end product for those that are following on Facebook. Thank you, lady. Thank you. So very, very beginner friendly. And then if you want to sew them for an older child, then this is one that or an adult. Then I also make them for adults, okay, or older children without the ruffle. And again, it's all scrap fabric, just like this, all scrap fabric. And on the one side, and then again, it's reversible, and then this on the other side, okay. Now, this part here is not so much scrap fabric, this part at the back, but again, hey, how neat and how cute is that, right? All right, and so then this one is my daughter. She already been wearing it and wearing it out. Favorite colors is red and blue. So I made sure I made her one red and blue, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me see. Yes, granddaughter, she is, she just turned 2 months on, was it? On the 18th. So yeah, so 2 months old, right? And her name is Raylan, and I call her Tiny Tot. So yes, thank you. Okay, so here we go. So when you come in, we're making a bonnet using scrap fabric. And I'm making it for infant because that's mainly what I focus on now is infants and toddlers for photography purposes, okay? So the supplies that you're going to need You're going to need your pens, and you're going to need plenty of them. And those that have been following me, I say pen, 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 like you never penned before. So you're going to need your pens. Got this pen cushion from Hobby Lobby. Make sure you get it when it's on sale, okay? And then you're also going to need your elastic. And I'm going to go over why I choose the elastic that I choose, right? So these are the three that I use at separate times. This one right here, I only use this for children that are like 5 and up. So children to adults that are 5 and up. And that's my 3/4 inch elastic. Um, and it's the roll kind. I do not like the non-roll kind because it's really hard. This is really soft and it doesn't hurt too bad, especially if it's sitting on the ears. Okay, so this one is really soft. This is what I prefer. I will post a link at the bottom in the description bar at the end of this tutorial. Also, if you have not subscribed, I'm not used to saying this on YouTube. If you have not subscribed, make sure I think they say hit the notification bell. Click the link to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be reminded, okay? And then this one right here is like the thin elastic, the ones that sometimes we were using to make face masks and things like that. So about 3/8 inch or a 1/4 inch elastic. This is that elastic. I rarely use this one, but when I do, it's because I'm out of my fold over elastic. So for children 5 and up, I use the 3/4 or the 1 inch elastic when I'm making a regular bonnet, a regular standard bonnet. Or I'll use this for children under 3 because the ones that are under 3, I typically always make the ruffled bonnet like this. So for those that are just joining in, this is what we're creating today. So I typically make the ruffled bonnet for any child that's under the age of 5 years old. And so I sometimes use this. I'm going to put this to the side because here is my favorite thing that I do use. And this is my fold over elastic. It is soft on the baby's head, soft on the toddler's head. And even if you want to use it for an adult when you're making a ruffle bonnet, you can do the same thing, okay? Make sure y'all interrupt me if you have any questions below. Make sure you interrupt me. So this part right here is the fold over elastic. And I think it's either 5/8 inch elastic. Let me look to see. Yeah, it's about a 5/8 inch fold over elastic, and this is what I use for all of my ruffle bonnets or bonnets for infants or toddlers. Okay, so you're gonna need that. You're also going to need, for those that do not know how to make a template for your bonnet, I'm going to show you how I measure it. And I'm going to go quick with it because I already have mine cut out. Okay, so that will be something I'm going to go quick with. All right. And then you're also going to need your measuring tape, and you're going to need a marking pencil or pen or something that could probably be erased. You're also going to need your iron and an ironing board. And you're going to need your sewing machine with matching thread. I have like a cream or a white in mine, so I'm just going to use that for today, okay? Then you're also going to need your template for your scraps, your scrap pieces. And so for me, my scrap pieces are for a infant or toddler. I cut it at a 10-inch circumference of the circle. So mine is about about 3.5 going across, or 4. Okay, so between 3 inches and 4 inches going across this way, and then up and down. I have it at about 22 inches. So 3 or 4 inches going across for your scrap pieces, and 22, about 22 inches up. Okay, so length 22 inches, the width about 3 to 4. And you can go wider, you can go smaller, thinner. It's up to you. Okay. Let me see. Hey Raina, hey girl, hey. And let me see. You're also going to need like an ironing board, and you're going to need your scrap satin fabric, okay? So I'm first going to show you how I cut out my scrap pieces. So here's a scrap piece that I already had here. It's just a long scrap piece, right? Here's my long scrap piece here. What I like to do is I fold it in half, however many times I need to. I fold it in half, just like that. And then I get my template and I just kind of lay my template on top and line it up just like that, okay? And then I'm going to cut straight up. Again, this does not have to be even. This does not have to be perfect in how you cut it, okay? Let me find my scissors. My scissors, oh, here they go. All right, so it does not have to be perfect. So all you have to do is just cut straight up. This is too thick. I'm going to open it up a little bit. And I'm just going to cut straight up. And again, it does not have to be straight and perfect. It's totally up to you, though. If you are a perfectionist, then you can do just that. And then after I've cut my strips, I know that I want the length to be about 22 inches, right? So I want the length to be about 22 inches. So I make sure that I cut it at that length, at least 22 inches, okay? So I use my template and I cut it at 22 inches. So now I have 2 scrap pieces already cut out, right? So that's that part. And then you will cut out as many as you need for each size bonnet that you create. So for a bonnet that's 10 inches, 9 inches, or 10 inches, you're going to use maybe about 8 strips or 9. For a bonnet that's like for a standard adult size bonnet, you may use about 12, 13, right? So the amount, it fluctuates by the size that you're going to use. Thank y'all for joining in. Okay, so we know how to cut out our scrap pieces. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make the template for the bonnet. I'm going to make a 10-inch template because I'm making one for an infant or toddler. So I'm going to use a 10-inch so that I can ruffle it up on the edges, right? So we're going to use a 10-inch template. So what I did was I got some scrap fabric that I had laying around. So there's my scrap fabric. And let's just say you go to the store and you go to Walmart and you get it off a bolt of fabric. It's going to be a folded edge. And then the other side is going to be an open edge, right? A folded edge and an open edge, okay? What you'll do is you will fold it. You'll make sure you keep it folded in half. So you'll folded edge, okay, open edge. I'm putting my pretty side of my fabric on the inside because I'm going to show you how I mark it, okay? So what you're going to do now is you're going to fold over. So again, when you get it off the bolt, it's folded on one side and then it's open on the other. All you do is you're going to fold over. That way, it's going to give you a double fold here, a pointed section here, double fold right here. And then it's going to be open on the, make sure you can see that. It's going to be open on the other side, just like that, okay? So what you're going to do is after you have folded your fabric over, then you're going to fold it over again to make a double fold on this side here. You're now going to get your measuring tape. Okay, you're going to get your measuring tape. I already have a template made, but I'm just showing you how to make the template. You're going to get your measuring tape, and then you're going to line it up at that point here where the double fold is at. You're going to line it up here, and because I'm making a 10-inch template, I'm going to go down to 10 inches, and I'm just going to mark where the 10 inches is at, okay? I'm going to put a pin right here just to keep that from shifting. much. All right. So I'm going to line it here, and I'm going to put a mark right here that shows me that's 10 inches. And then I'm going to keep on going over and around until I get to this side here. And I'm going to mark 10 inches everywhere I pull it over. Okay, so 10 inches. Now, if you're doing a 12-inch bonnet, then you'll go to the, 12 and do the same thing. Right? So this is how you would make your bonnet template. All the way till you get, and you just mark the spot all the way so you get to the other side. Then once you have it marked, sometimes I like to put just a pin here to kind of keep it from shifting a bit. About a couple pins just to keep it from shifting. All right. And then what you do is you will go in, and you can't really see this, but you'll go in and you'll connect. You'll go in, you'll connect your dots. Okay. Just like that. You'll go in and you'll connect the dots. Hopefully you can see it. I try to just use a pencil for this part. All right. And so once you have that done, then you'll get your scissors and you're going to cut on that line. Don't throw your scrap pieces away, because guess what? You can use these as the strips and cut them as the strips as well. So I'm just going to move this over to the side because I don't need it anymore. Now you have your bonnet template, your 10-inch bonnet template, okay? What we're going to do now, and again, we're making the ruffle bonnet. For those that have just joined in, we're making the ruffle satin bonnet, and I'll show you using scrap fabric, okay? Ruffle bonnet using scrap fabric for those that just came in. All right, now what we're going to do is going to move those pins out the way, and we no longer need our measuring tape. We can put that to the side. I really hope everybody's having a good day, and for those that just joined in, I was telling the ones earlier today earlier on the live that these are good sellers for me. I had to ask God, what can I create using this scrap fabric, because I have so much. What can I create to share with others so that they can profit as well? And this is what I came up with, okay? So, boom. So, we have our template. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open this template up. Just like that. We're going to open it up. Now, I've already prepped my scrap fabric strips, okay? I've already prepped them. So again, I already showed you how to cut yours out. So you will do just that. You'll cut yours out in the size length of the whatever size length strips you want. Now, this is important, okay? And I hope I'm not going too fast. Now, this is important. What you want to do is make sure that your scrap piece goes over your bonnet template. So your scrap piece needs to come higher than the top and longer than the bottom. Not by much, but by enough so that you can catch all of it, right? So what you'll do is you'll get your scrap pieces. And again, I've already cut out all of my scrap pieces. Okay, and as you can see, look, this one is even smaller than the other one. So it doesn't matter the width of it, but the length does matter, okay? So here are my scrap pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay my scrap pieces just to see how many I need. We're going to start over here where you can see the edge, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it here. and I'm going to lay it over the bonnet template. We want it to have at least an inch over the bonnet template. So when I lay it down, I'm laying it here. And then I'm going to place my scrap pieces how I want them to be. Okay, so I'm going to do whatever color this purple, or it's kind of like a, I don't know, some type of electric blue or purple, electric purple. And then I'm going to have the leopard print here. And then I'm going to get another purple. And I'm just layering it how I want it to be when I get ready to sew them up. Okay, so boom, like that. Then I'm going to go back to the electric again. Hopefully it's long enough. Look like it is. I'm going to go to the electric again. And then going to go to the leopard. Just like that. So I'm going to keep layering this all the way till I get to this side. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. So that's that color here. Then from there, I do the purple. And then I do that electric color. Right? And then as you can see, I need a little bit more. Let me see if I can scoot this over some more. I need a little bit more on this one. So I need one more, which it will be the leopard print. Okay? So as you can see, for this particular one, I am going to need a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strips. Okay? 8 strips of fabric. So I'm going to keep it in the order that I want it in. So I'm going to just pick all of them up. So I'm going to do the electric, the electric, the leopard, the purple. Okay? Electric, leopard, purple. Electric, and then leopard. So I have 8 strips here that I need for this particular bonnet. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the template out the way because I don't need it right now. So I'm going to move it out of the way. And on our sewing machine, you want matching thread. You want your top thread to match your top fabric, and you want your bottom thread to match your bottom fabric, right? The inside of the fabric. And I'm just using like a white cream color just for the tutorial purposes on today. All right. So now that I have it in the order, make sure. I don't know what I just did, but I done mixed up my order. But now that I have it in the order that I'm going to do it in, what I'm going to do now is what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to I'm going to heat up my iron because we are going to need the iron, and I'm going to match up my strips, right? So I'm going to do I'm going to call this electric, okay? So the electric at the top, and then for this one here, I'm going to trim this real quick. I want to take off this raw salvage edge that's right here. Okay, took that raw salvage edge off. So now what I'm going to do is with right sides together, I'm going to lay my electric with right sides facing up. And then I'm going to lay the leopard with right sides facing down. Okay, just like that. Okay, so electric and then this leopard, or however you want to do it. You can mix and match it. It's up to you. But I'm going to lay them right sides together, and then I'm going to match up the right hand side of the straps, okay? I mean of the scrap pieces. So I'm going to line them up, and what you can do now is you can get some pins. For me, I don't need the pins anymore, but you can get you some pins, and then you can pin these together, these two together. So right side should be facing right now, okay? Right sides of the fabric should be facing each other. You should be looking at the wrong side of the top piece of fabric. Okay? Thank y'all for joining in. Make sure you, if you want, you can subscribe to the channel, or you can make sure if you're not in the So Cute Beginner Friendly Sewing Group, make sure you join us over there on Facebook. It's a community of women that are loving and caring and love to help. And we try to focus on beginner friendly projects to get people started, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this to the sewing machine. And you're going to start here at the top using about a 3/8 or a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You're going to back stitch. Then you're going to sew all the way down. Then you're going to back stitch when you get to the end, okay? You're going to start here, back stitch, all the way down, straight stitch, 3/8 inch seam allowance, and then back stitch here. So even if your fabric is two different sizes, no problem. Just back stitch at the smaller size, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to keep doing this same thing over and over and over till all of the scrap pieces are sewn together, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and move my sewing machine over. Just like that. And then I'm going to start to sew using a straight stitch, making sure to back stitch. Do we have any questions? Hey, good morning. I'm at work, so I can't hear you, but I'm watching. Okay, perfect. So we are going, thank you for coming in. She said she can't hear me though, so. Hey. Okay, so here we go. We're going to back stitch. And we're going to sew all the way down. And we're just using a straight stitch. Make sure to back stitch at the end. Then you're going to remove your pins. And then there you go. When you open it up, it's right sides is now facing up, okay? Then you're going to get your next color, and you're going to keep doing that same method with right sides together. You're going to lay it on the edge with on the right hand side, because you're only going to sew one side. You're going to lay that on the edge just like that. You're going to place your pins if you need them. You're going to place your pins to connect them. Just like that. And then you're going to sew all the way down. And so I'm going to go ahead and do all of that. And then if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them below. Or you could just keep watching me. But I'm going to slow down on the talking so I can get to the next step. Okay? Okay. So again, just keep going till you got all of them sewn together. And if you need your pins, put your pins there. Don't forget that, because satin fabric does shift. Can you create this using cotton fabric on one side and satin fabric on the inside? You sure can. You sure can. You can customize it if you want, however you want to do it. But if you're doing it to protect hair, then you will put that satin always on the inside. Can you use a serger for this part? You sure can. You definitely can use a serger for this part, as you're just sewing a straight stitch going all the way down. You can definitely use a serger. I try to show things using a sewing machine because not everybody can afford a serger right now. So I try to stay like that. But yes, if you have a serger, you can definitely use it. Only for this part here. Only for attaching the scrap pieces. So at the purple, it was the electric. And then I have one more after the electric to sew on here. And then we're going to move on to the next step, okay? Which is making sure you got your iron. Start to heat it up around about this time. Gabby. Gabby. Can you bring me some water for my iron, please? Gabby has camp in a little bit, so I'm trying to go through this so I can get her to camp on time. Today is her last day at camp. Yeah, but put it in that bottle right there. Like, just get that, reach over there and grab that bottle for me. Put it over there. Okay. Thank you. Hey, Mama. Thank you, Mama. Love you. Girl, oh, Mama. Listen, when I tell you that chicken enchilada soup you made last night, that you gifted me and Greg, baby, I came home, made me some rice. Poured that on top of the rice, added me some Slap Your Mama seasoning on there, and then ate it with Ritz crackers. Baby, we was in heaven. Yeah, you can take it back. Thank you, Gabby. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. I have a little bit more left. I'm finna get ready to go and warm that up when I get back home. But yes, Mama, I need you to show me how you made that. Let me see what's going on with this part right here. Okay. And then here's my last piece. Woo, we getting somewhere. Here's the last piece I'm going to add. Let me see. And then I'm just going to add this one here. It was so good, Mama. I could think about this morning. I wanted to eat it. But I'm like, I'm going to go to sleep if I eat that right now. You did that. We going to use up the scrap pieces. My mama has gifted me so many scrap pieces, y'all. And I'm like, ain't no way I get gifted this stuff and I can't utilize it. I was asking God to show me different ways. Show me different ways instead of keeping the scraps in the bags or the bins. Because since Mama don't stop sewing, I don't stop getting scraps, right? So here we go. So we have sewn, moving that sewing machine out of the way. We have sewn all our scrap pieces together, okay? As you can see, and they're all not the same size, okay? We have sewn all of our scrap pieces. Looks like, am I missing something? Oh, no, I got it. We have sewn all of our scrap pieces together. Make sure I have caught. You want to go in and make sure you have caught all of them, all the edges. And if you did, your next step would be to just press this down, flatten it out. You can cut off some thread if you want, not necessary, but you're going to go and flatten this out and with your iron. And after you flatten it out, then we're going to move on to the next step, okay? So I'm going to get my little ironing board here since I'm sitting here, and I'm just going to press it down. And I'm not going to do it to be perfect at it either right now. Okay, so I'm just going in and I'm just pressing it down because my little thing here is really small. And it doesn't matter how you press it. You can press it all going the same way or a different way. Totally up to you. And again, because we're just making sure we use up all of our scrap pieces. Do y'all have any questions? Those that just joined in, do you have any questions? I'd like for y'all to talk back to me if you can. I know a lot of y'all may be at work. I'm just going in and pressing this down. There's no right or wrong way on how you press it. Just make sure everything is flat. Okay. And as you can see, some of my pieces are shorter than the other. We just want to make sure our template is full. Our bonnet template. So 10-inch circle can fit all the way around this here. All right, we getting somewhere. All right, I got it pressed to my liking. And again, you can take your time and press it if you want to. Another thing is, what I don't do is, if you wanted to, you can go in and you can top stitch, or I don't know what they call that, but you can go in and place a top stitch on in the ditch. I think that's what they call it. Mama, let me know if I'm right or wrong. But I think it's called like in the ditch. You can go down and sew all of these down if you want. Not necessary, okay? Definitely not necessary. All right, so my next thing I'm going to do, since I have it all ironed down, pressed down, I'm going to get my bonnet template that we made, the 10-inch bonnet template. Just like this, I'm going to lay it down right here. Let me make sure I had no questions. Yes, thank you, sis. So now we're just going to lay what we just created. Actually, I like to lay this down first, just like that. Okay, and then with the right sides facing up. And then I like to go and get my bonnet template. Yeah, it's all right, all right, all right. Listen, it's coming together just like my sis said. It's so cute, so cute. Using scrap pieces. Don't you throw your scrap pieces away. And if you have no idea what to create using your scrap pieces, look, I call myself the scrap girl queen, okay? Because I know what to create. But it was something about this satin. I was tired of making scrunchies all the time with the satin. And I also make, let me show you what I also make before I move on to the next step. With satin fabric, I also make these little flowers as well. So don't throw your scraps away because, again, you can make so many different things. All right, so now let's move on. Now we're going to pin all the way around the whole circle, leaving about a 2-inch or 3-inch opening somewhere so that when we sew all the way around, we will have an opening to where we can flip this sucker right sides out. So I like to pin away from the edge. And I hope this is helping somebody. I hope you create this to sell because they can definitely sell. So if your sales are low, whenever your sales are low, go to make bonnets. I don't care what race, nationality, nothing that you are. If you can make it, you can sell it, okay? And so I have a vendor event coming up on August the 20th. My mom is going to be there as well. I'm selling her things. And so this is what I will be selling. And so I'm telling y'all, if they don't sell out, that's because something was attacking and up against me. These are going to sell out, and I know y'all can do it. Not only that, they're perfect for baby shower gifts. You know, if you don't have any money, but you have fabric and you have these supplies at your house, go ahead and make this. And watch all the people, when they start opening up the gifts, watch all the people be like, well, we need one of those. Market yourself. Do you hear me? We're going to be all right. We are definitely going to be all right. Because I know a lot of us are saying that it's slow. The sewing thing is slow because everybody doing the same thing and all that. Guess what? You have a market to reach as well. You got to find time, do your research, and reach the people that need you and what you do. So I don't do custom work, like all of that. I only custom things I do is putting some sublimation prints and stuff on there. But I don't do too much of the other stuff. Like everybody say, hey, do you make the Dickies? No, ma'am. Nope, I do not. But I will refer you to the person that I know make them. So stay where you're not comfortable with, because you got to get uncomfortable sometimes. But stay in your lane. Stay with what works best for you, in your family, in your business. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to leave that 2-inch or 3-inch opening down here at the bottom, and I'm gonna bring it closer so you can see what I did. So as you can see, I have pinned all the way around. But at the bottom where I'm gonna keep a hold at, I put my pins this way so that I know I'm gonna start at this pin here. I'm gonna backstitch. I'm gonna sew all the way around till I get to this one here, and then I'm gonna backstitch again. So that'll leave this hole right here for me to flip it right sides out. Okay. So what you can see right now is all of the scrap pieces is still on there. Guess what? I'm leaving it on there for now. I'm not going to cut it off until I sew my this circle on here and leaving this part open. So let's go. Do we have any questions? Let me see. Good morning. What a blessing it is to be able to get to the scrap from your mom. Yes. You're so welcome, Miss Ford. Thank you for joining in. Make sure you Raina, what you say? Hit the like and subscribe button. Top stitch is the top of the seam to the in the ditches between the seams. Okay, so one of those, y'all, I would say use the top, do a top stitch if you wanted to. Yes. All right, so let's go because I'm on a time limit. Mama, what time is it? Can you put that in the chat what time it is? Because I can't really see. Okay, I'm going to start at that first pin. And I'm going to remove the pin. I'm going to back stitch to lock in my stitch. Okay. And I'm sewing about a 3/8 inch seam away from the edge. You can do a 1/4 inch as well. Just take your time. And I don't think I told you, but if you can't see, my right sides are together. So what I'm looking at right here is the ugly side of the fabric or the wrong side of the fabric. On the inside is the pretty sides are touching or the right sides are touching. $9.24, okay. Thank you, Mom. So we're going to go all the way around. All right, I'm almost back to where I started, to the other pin. And then I'm going to meet up with that pin, and then I'm going to back stitch, okay? If you create this, please share it in the So Cute Beginner Friendly Sewing Group on Facebook. We would love to see it and to love on your work as well. Okay? Make sure you back stitch to lock that in. Cut your thread. Remove all of your pins. And after you remove your pins, then I want you to go ahead and trim all of that extra fabric off. All of the extra scrap pieces off. Now, don't throw them away. I think that's where I get in trouble. Don't throw those away because that will help you create something else. Okay? Scrap fabric make me so happy. My mama would tell you whenever I come over the house and I see them bags of scrap fabric, I pick them up, I bring it home, and then I deal with my husband later because he be like, where are we going to put that bag? Listen. Be all right. Okay. All right. So let me see if there was anything else. Can this step be done on the surgery? So this step can also be done on the surgery if that's what you want, right? Because when you get to this part here, you just serge off to make sure you leave that opening, okay? So yes, you sure can do this step as well. And all I do is I'm just cutting off this extra stuff here. And so your serger will be something that you can do to serge this off. But if you don't have one, follow this method right here. Make sure you start to get your iron warmed up because you're going to have to press it down one more time when we flip it right sides out, okay? Okay, so all I'm doing is trimming this, cutting all of this extra scrap fabric off, and I'm going to use this. Do you hear me? And I'm going to actually show y'all, I guess I'll probably try to use it on tomorrow and come back on here or sometime this week and come back on here and show you guys what I create using this leftover scrap pieces right here. Okay. All right. So now that we have it trimmed all the way around, our next step is to make sure you go in here. Now, oh, I'm going to show you something. I did leave this a little bit over, just like that. I left it over some because when I flip it right sides out, I want to be able to have it where I can fold this in and I have enough room to fold it in, okay? So now I'm going to flip this sucker right sides out. Using that hole. So now that I have it flipped right sides out, I'm just going to, I like to do like that with it, right? All the way around. Make sure I knock out everything. All right, so now check it out. We now have this portion done. How cute is this already, right? How cute is it? All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to, where the opening is at, I'm going to fold it in. Thank y'all for joining in. I'm going to fold it in with just like that. And then I'm going to get a few pins and I'm just going to pin it down so I know where my hole is at, but I also can press this part down so I know so that it'll be pressed down to where I can sew all the way around when I for the next step. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take the iron. Get your ironing board, and then we're just going to press this down. Press all of this right here. We're just going to roll it and press down. Okay. So like roll it and press down all the way around. We're going to knock that out real quick. And then we're going to move on to the next step. So I'm just going to get my iron. Press this down. Do not skip this step as it is important to have it as even as possible. If you prep all your scraps into strips and then go in and just randomly match them up, you'll save a lot of time instead of trying to do everything at the same time, okay? And just keep going. Find it, find that seam, roll, and press. You're going to do this all the way around, okay? All the way around. Do we have any questions? I trimmed the extra fabric after I sewed it because I want my seam on the inside. I want it all to lay flat. If you would have left all that extraness there, then it'll be tucked in here inside of your bonnet, and you don't want that because you'll be able to see it like poke out, right? So you want to be able to flatten out your seam so that you only have like this much here instead of all of that extra down here. You want to cut off what they call it, all the extra excess fabric. You don't need it. Okay, I'm almost back to where I started. Gonna roll that just like that and press it down. I hope I'm not missing any questions. All right, so now that we have that pressed down, our next step is we're going to take it to the sewing machine. This part is why it's important that I said you need to make sure that your thread matches your fabric. So at the top, if I was to have it to match, which mine is just like a cream or a white color, but if I was to have it to match, then I would use one of these colors at the top, okay? If I was to have it to match, I'll use one of these colors at the top because I have to sew around this bonnet twice, okay? And then on the other side, I will use a gold. I will use a gold in the, at the bobbin, So make sure if you are selling it or gifting it that you use the correct color, okay? So I'm making this for my grand girl, so I don't have to match it, and it's for tutorial purpose so you can see what I'm doing, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this back. I'm going to take this to the sewing machine. I'm going to remove these pins here. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and about 1 inch or 2 inches away from the edge. This is my edge here. We're not closing this hole up quite yet, okay? So about 2 inches away from the edge. Then I'm going to sew all the way around, but leaving a small opening here, okay? I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to leave a small opening here, and I'm going to sew all the way around, making sure to backstitch here and backstitch here. After coming from the edge all the way down about 1 inch to 2 inches, okay? Totally up to you. But I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back so I can show you what I did. And then we're going to do another circle, but the next circle, we're going to close it off. And this is going to create our ruffle. Okay, so I'm going to find where my hole is at. I'll put this pin back there so it won't shift. All right. And I'm going to find where that hole is at. And then I'm going to come out about 1 inch to 2 inches. So this is about 1 inch to 2 inches here. I just like to line it up with this plate that's right here on my sewing machine. I like to line it up with that plate there. So I'm just going to come out line it up with that plate here. And that's going to be my guide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to sew, and then I'm going to backstitch. And then I'm going to sew all the way around. And again, I'm using this as my guide. Now, your ruffle does not have to be that big. You can make it smaller if you want. Okay, so I'm close to where I had first started with this circle. I'm not going to close this circle off. I'm going to leave a hole there, and I'm going to backstitch. Going to cut my thread. And then I'm going to show you what I did. As you can see, I have this hole that's right here. And I also have this, where I'm at. I also have this hole right here. I'm not going to stitch this up. Make sure you backstitch here and backstitch here. And then this is going to be my ruffle piece. Now I want to make a casing for the elastic to go through. which means I'm going to have to go down. My elastic is about 5/8 inch elastic. I'm going to go down a little over 5/8 inch, and then I'm going to sew another circle all the way around. But I want to make sure that I close off this next circle, okay? We're not going to leave an opening on this next circle. We're going to close it off. That's going to allow us to have a casing to feed our elastic through, okay? So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to show you. Yes, they do sell, and people love these. That's an awesome idea, especially to raise funds. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so now I'm going to start to sew all the way around and closing off this circle, okay? Okay, I'm back where I started. I'm gonna meet up with that, meet up with the stitch that I just created, and I'm gonna back stitch because I want to close this one off. Okay. I'm gonna cut my thread. Y'all, we almost done. Then I can take my daughter to camp. All right, so I just want to show you what I did. Was I closed this off, this one off here. I left that the first stitch, I left that open, right? So I can feed my elastic through here. So this has a circle all the way around it, and I hope you can see that. Let me turn it this way, see if it's even better. The lighting is just not the best, but that's what it'll look like all the way around. So that's where my elastic is going to go through, this part right here, okay? So I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to cut my thread. And that's why it's important to have the same color thread. So if you have any imperfections, guess what? It ain't going to be seen, right? Because we're going to ruffle that up. You're going to get your elastic. And again, I use fold over elastic. And I'm going to cut this one at about 16 inches. I do have a chart that's already posted in So Cute Beginner Friendly Sewing Group on Facebook. A chart that I created for you all so that you won't have to guess what size you need, right? It is approximate. So if you want actual measurement, then make sure you measure the child's head or the adult's head, okay? All right, so I cut my elastic at about 16 inches. I'm now going to get a safety pin, or you can use a bodkin. I don't know where my bodkin is, but you're going to need a safety pin. You're going to push it through your elastic. Again, I use fold over elastic for infants and toddlers. If you go back and watch the replay, you will see the other elastic that I use as well. All right, so now we have a hole that's right here, right at the top. And then we have that hole that's right here, right? We're going to stick our elastic all the way through the first hole, then through the second hole, and then we're going to feed our bodkin or our safety pin through this part here, and then pull. Now, you want to make sure that your elastic does not go through all the way. So when I get to the place where my elastic is like almost close to this whole part, this opening part, then I'm going to pin it to the fabric so it won't go all the way in. If something happens and you make a mistake and it goes all the way in, no problem. You're just going to have to restart it and push it through again, okay? So try not to do that, especially if you have a long tube. Try not to do that. Right? So I'm just going in and I'm just going through and I'm scrunching up the elastic and the bonnet, the circle. And just going to keep on going through and pulling. And scrunching it up. As you can see, look at it. It's already ruffling up. So right here, I'm going to leave that out. I'm just going to grab a pin and then I'm going to pin it down. I hope you guys are learning something today. I hope you make these. I can't see. I got that big roll of elastic. So I ordered from China. So that's where I got my elastic from. Did a bulk order from China, from Alibaba, and that's where I got my elastic from. The particular, these here. And then I get some other elastic, like printed elastic and things like that. I got it from another soul sister who has a craft supply group called TSH Craft Supplies on Facebook. Her name is Kimberly, and she's an awesome, awesome, awesome person. Make sure you go and check her out there as well. Okay. And just keep on scrunching it up till you get all the way back around. You're so welcome. All right, so now I have made myself all the way back around. Going to remove this pin that I had there. I'm going to hold on to my elastic. And I'm just going to move this. Now I'm going to get both elastic pieces, one on this side and the other side. I'm going to put them together. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to put them together like that, making sure, try not to roll your elastic. Just like that. Now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew it shut. And I'm going to back stitching. I'm going to go forward, back, till I have it locked in, okay? We almost done. Gabby, you almost ready? You are ready? What time do you have? Okay, we doing great. Okay, so here we go. So now I'm just going to sew across maybe about a half an inch away from the edge. Make sure to back stitch to reinforce it. Cut your thread. Thank you, sis. So now that I've done that, I'm going to cut my thread and I'm going to just trim down this piece here with my scissors and cut the thread. Next step is I want to feed this inside of the bonnet. Okay, so I'm just going to my ruffles. I'm just pulling my ruffles apart to kind of like get it even all the way around. Now my next step is, since my elastic is on the inside now, my next step is to take this to the sewing machine. We want to close off this top hole. And let me go ahead and put a pin there. And then you want to close off the second hole that you had right there, okay? So I typically start with the second hole. You're just going to meet up with the stitch that you already created. Make sure to back stitch. And then, make sure to back stitch. And then you'll do the same exact thing to the top one. So I'm just going to place this underneath. Find where I started. Match up my needle with that stitch. And then start to sew. Make sure to back stitch. Okay, And then back stitch again. Once you have met the other part of that stitch, you'll back stitch again. Then you'll remove your thread. And then cut your thread. And now we have that last part. We're going to go ahead and trim. I'm sorry, not trim. We're going to top stitch this part right up here. Okay? And that's going to close off that first opening that you created when we flipped it right sides out. Okay? So we're going to fold that in. And I'm going to put that pin back there. Okay, so what we're going to do is going to start at the beginning of the hole. We're going to back stitch. We're going to stay close to this edge as possible, but not off the edge, making sure to stitch both of these pieces, the front and the back piece together. Okay, and then we're going to find where it ends, and then we're going to back stitch here. Cut our thread, and our bonnet is done. Okay. Make sure to back stitch. So all the way till you close off that hole. And I don't know where, there we go, right there. All right, you're gonna remove your thread. Now we're just going to cut all of our thread off. And this is why you want to use the same color thread, okay? Because you don't want that top stitch to be a different color. You want it to match. And you just go in here and you cut off your thread. And then there's your top stitch here. And you have done everything. Now, just make sure all the thread is cut, that you don't have no pins sitting out at the top or anything. And your scrap fabric bonnet is done. Okay, so here is the inside. And then here is the outside. How cute is that? So here it is, your scrap fabric bonnet. And again, for me, for toddlers, for infants, it is definitely for photography purposes. Only just take pictures in it. Do not allow your child to sleep in it, as it's unsafe. But that's your bonnet. Do we have any questions for our jump off of here? And here is the other bonnet. As you can see, this ruffle is smaller. Okay, this ruffle is smaller than this ruffle, right? Let's see. It's about an inch difference, okay? But there we go. And then here is some other ones that I've created. For those that didn't see the beginning, here it is. This is the adult or the childlike size, made with the other elastic, the 3/4 inch or 1 inch elastic, using scrap fabric. Here is another one using scrap fabric. This one is my daughter's. And then here is another one. Again, scrap fabric. Just keep creating them when you have time. And then this is the one that I shared the scrap fabric in the group on what I was going to make. And this is it. So I'm so grateful for those that joined in on today. I appreciate you. Make sure you go like the like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and then join us over there at So Cute Beginner Friendly Sewing Group. The link is in the description. I will also add the link to where I get most of my supplies, and in the description bar sometime today. Let me check. You're so welcome. You're welcome. Okay, any questions? If not, I'm coming off of here. This is the one we made today. Bonnet for an infant. And I'll take a picture of my grandgirl in it when she comes home or come over. And yeah, that's it. Okay? All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye. You're so welcome. Okay, so how you close this off, y'all? Let me see.